Greetings, this is your host, Reigning Queen Goddess, and thank you for tuning in to Sacred, Sexy, Sensual Spirit, where we are honoring sexuality and spirituality as one and balancing the energies of both in a beautiful, complementary fashion. So stay tuned.
This is Reigning Queen Goddess with Sacred, Sexy, Sensual Spirit podcast, and we are also having a sexy virtual health fair this week, so we have another featured guest for tonight, and I'm going to bring her on. So honored to have her. Her name is Sheila Monique, and she has so much to share with us tonight. So introduce yourself and let us know who you are.
Well, hello. My name is Sheila Monique. I am so excited to be here on this show. I am just excited. I'm a woman who is very determined through life, and there's a couple things, we'll talk about through this journey on this podcast. But my name is Sheila, and I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. So happy to have you. Thank you for taking time out to give back to the community and share all of your health tips and just let us know how to stay grounded in our sexuality and spirituality. So how did you begin your journey?
Wow. Well, I began my journey, unfortunately, but fortunately, one day my husband told me that I looked like I was pregnant. And I was not pregnant. I was not pregnant. And I cried my eyes out. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, how could you tell me, like, this is the man I love, and you're going to tell me that I look like I'm pregnant? I was like, wait a minute. You must have. Maybe let me clear my ears out. There's no way you just said that to me. And you know what's so crazy, Vicki? He called me, when he came to the back room, because I was in the back room crying at that point. And he was like, you want to know why I said it? And I'm like, no. But in my inside, I'm like, yeah, I want to know why did you just tell me I look like I'm pregnant? And he said, because I watch you every day. You'll cry, say you're going to change, don't change. You'll eat things you're not supposed to eat, say you're not going to eat them. Cry, then you tell yourself that you complain. You tell yourself you're fat. You tell yourself you're going to do something. Like, he's like, I was so tired of you being on this emotional roller coaster that I had to say something to you for you to get it. And it started legitimately right from there.
So pretty much he had to trigger you to move you into a position to feel uncomfortable to do something about it, and, uncomfortable enough to do something about it.
Absolutely the truth. Sometimes it takes somebody to give you a gut check real quick for you to actually make a move that doggone well you should have made a long time ago.
Right. And a lot of people have a hard time with that because it's, the ones closest to you, a lot of times they lie because they love us, but the ones that really, my mom and our father always taught me that if a person really loves you, they'll tell you the truth, even if it hurts. It's just being aware of your delivery as far as your tone, the choice of words and the timing and how you say it. You know what I mean? If it's saying it, it's being said in love. So I totally get that. It was tough love.
Yeah, that's definitely what it was. It was very tough love.
Right. So how has this, tell us about your transformation and how it's empowered you as far as your self-healing journey and self-love journey.
Wow. Well, I started everything when I, found TLC. When I found TLC and using their detox teas, I was like, okay, wait, is this really going to work? Because I've tried so many things, so many things to get the weight off, and nothing was really working for me. Like, I'm not going to tell myself I'm never going to have a French fry ever again, or I'm never going to eat a piece of bread again, because that's not reality. I needed something that I could really stick with that, help me make a real lifestyle change, because that's what it was all about for me. Like, I had to make a lifestyle change. And as I did that, I started to, I lost 67 pounds in 5 months, and I just stayed consistent, but it really helped me find me. Like, I used to tell people all the time, my confidence used to be underneath the basement. Like, it was so bad because the weight that I had on me. Like, I was thinking it was just because, I looked at the scale and it said a number. No, I looked at me and I didn't recognize who I was anymore. I had lost myself, and when I looked in the mirror that day, I couldn't believe what I saw. Like, I could not believe that that's what I have gotten into. And I was like, well, that comes from not loving you and not doing what you're supposed to do for you and just not taking care of you and taking care of everybody else.
Right. Putting everything into perspective and getting back into alignment with yourself.
Yeah, it's so important to just be and alignment, like you said, with yourself is so important to take care of you, because you with you for the rest of your life. So you gotta at least love what you with.
Exactly. You're good, you're bad, and you're ugly. A lot of people have a struggle with loving the bad and the ugly, but that's where your power is, if you learn how to transmute the energy and grow from it so that you can make change your best friend. So I totally saw that. Now, I understand you do a lot of healing work as far as helping women with transformation, and you say you've lost you initially lost 5 pounds, 65 pounds in 5 months. And I want to know, how do this come out in your work with women as far as helping them change their mental and dealing with the low self-esteem, lack of self-love, and just not taking care of themselves? How do you reach women like that?
Well, the biggest thing, and the biggest thing that I do is I let them know that I understand, and I've been where they are. You know, sometimes we hear people talk to us, but they're not getting through because we feel like they can't relate. You know, and I let them know, obviously, I showed them my before and after pictures of how I could relate. And then it's not just a picture. It's certain conversations that I know you only have when you're on your journey to try to lose the weight. I know how we self-sabotage ourselves. So in conversations that I have with them, I'm just letting them know, like, listen, I know what it's like to go through things while telling yourself not to eat something, then you eat it, and you cry about it, then you tell yourself you're not going to do it. Like, I know what all of that feels like. So that's the first thing I open up and let them know that, like, I understand. And then I show them and share with them that everything they're looking for, Nikki, everything they're looking for is in their transformation. And it's not just your weight transformation. It's the person that's inside of you that you've always wanted to become is in there, but it's underneath the weight. It's underneath the hurt. It's underneath the pain. You know, it's underneath all of those things that hold us back every day as women.
That's so true. So true. So when it comes to referring back to the emotional roller coaster that your husband was witnessing you being on, when you finally came to terms with yourself, how did you move through that energy as far as before I ask you how you moved through it, I want to ask you, how was it affecting your sexuality and your spirituality?
I mean, well, sexual-wise, I ain't want to do it. Don't touch me, I'm big. That was how I felt. Right. I just didn't want to do it, and it wasn't even on I didn't love me enough to think somebody else could love me doing where I was at. Like, at that size, at that mental space, how could somebody want to touch me? Like, I didn't even want to look at me, so how could somebody want to touch me? And I started to think those different thoughts that were in my mind when they were never in his mind, you know, and I didn't want to get on top because I felt like I would smother you, and I didn't want you to hug me because if you touch my stomach, then it's going to make me feel queasy because it's a reminder that I'm not even doing what I'm supposed to do to get this that I don't like so much off me. So it plays a lot, like, it plays a big role.
That's beautiful that you had, and you still have, a divine reflection that's able to see you and see your best and see you at your lowest point, but still know how to resurrect your spirit by speaking to you in a way that may have seemed without love, or just it wasn't what you wanted to hear. But now looking back on the effect of it, how it initiated it sparked a change in you, and now you both are in a beautiful flow together. That is so beautiful. That's so beautiful that you are able to actually share that part, because people don't understand, like, whenever you're going through something and you see your divine reflection going through something, they're going through something and it affects you too, because you're also going through it with them. So communication is one of the main things that is really helpful with finding out where you are and where your divine reflection is, and are y'all balancing each other out, and where do you need to come up in this area? I need to come up in this area. But having that beautiful dialogue is so important. So with women in your work and with the relationship advice and sexuality and spirituality advice you have, how would you recommend women get back into loving themselves from the state that they are now, before the big transformation happens, how do you get them, what would you recommend them to do to get into a space of learning to love themselves just enough to start changing?
I think the first thing I would say is you have to have, like I like to just call a mirror moment. Mm-hmm. And it's that time where you look in the mirror, you are completely naked. Mm-hmm. You are telling your own truth to yourself. And the hard part about that is to look and see where you really are, the reality of our lives, what it has come to. And when you do that, you look in the mirror and you start to look around you and you see what you are, what you've become. But then bigger than that, Nikki, you start to immediately tell yourself you love yourself. And it's so hard because you don't want to look at yourself. It's hard to even look at your own eyes in the mirror, your own reflection when you're saying it, because in the beginning you're not loving yourself. Like, it's obvious that you're not loving yourself. But when you have that moment, when you're eyeball to eyeball with yourself and you start to say, I love you, and it hurts, and you cry really hard because you're thinking of everything in between, what got you here, where you are, where you're going to be, and to tell yourself that you love yourself, knowing that you don't feel like that is very, very, very hard. But that's why I say everyone has to have that mirror moment. They have to see where they really are and start to love where they are so that they can start to move further. Because if you're not happy where you are, with just the fact that you are still alive on this thing called Earth, you have an opportunity to do something different every single day you wake up. If you're not even in love with that part, then we got a bigger problem.
Right. So it really starts home, just seeing yourself, acknowledging it and coming to terms with it, and then just sitting with that energy and allowing yourself to move through it. From that space, love yourself enough to change. And that's what I noticed with transformation. I'm a person that came from experiencing what it's like to be very unhealthy and overweight and going through emotional mood swings and, the emotional eating or the emotional not eating, just the imbalancing with dietary, period. And I personally lost 85, 90 pounds. And thank you. But the transformation was, I realized I had been trying to do different things and try different regimens, and the transformation really happened and clicked for me whenever I was able to see myself. And mirror work is one of the main things that helped me. With my clients now, I teach them to look at yourself and love yourself and where you are so that you can love yourself to take yourself where you're trying to go. And so that was a big part of my transformation, just sitting with myself and looking at myself and saying, getting past the regret, the beating yourself up, being angry with yourself, being bitter, going through all the emotions, because that's all it is, emotion, energy and motion. So once you move through all those energies, then I was able to say, okay, I lost maybe a pound. So it was a long journey, journey. The journey. I'm back on my journey now after regaining like 20 pounds after my brother passed away. But guess what? I realized it also started again with me being in that space of seeing myself from where I was and loving myself from there and loving myself enough to go further and grow.
Absolutely.
So now in your line of work, it seems both of you and your husband work together pretty much in the community to help people with transformation.
Correct.
That's awesome. So now I'm pretty sure you've gotten into a lot of advice as far as relationships and sexuality or physical or fitness. How do you help as a team together in the community to help couples that may be going through the same experience that you both went through? How do you reach couples with your experience and your journey?
Well, a lot of the ways that we're helping a lot of couples is he has a fitness, like he's a personal trainer. So he does group fitness and he does one-on-one fitness. But when he started it, a lot of times, like let's say you were working out with him through the group, and he saw your spouse or somebody that, you know, you're with walk by in the background, and he'd be like, hey, you, come on, no, don't just watch her, get down here and support her. And he's been able to get so many couples to start working out together where they're sending us messages like, I wish to God I would have found Maniac Fit way before, because I've been trying to get my husband to work out with me for forever, or I can't believe how much he's encouraging me or she's encouraging me. It's like when you can find something that you can do together because there's another example that you can relate to. We just became the example that other people can relate to. Like, you know, we're not fake, we're not phony. Like, you know, we're human as heck. July will be freaking 3 years of us being married, and for the first year and a half, thank you, girl. But for the first year and a half, we was like, this ain't it. We don't want to do this. Take it back. No, you know. And as I tell people, like, we so real. Like, we still argue almost every day. Like, and then I had to talk with one of my girlfriends, and she's like, it's okay if you don't like your husband sometimes. I'm like, okay, so this is normal.
You know, I've heard so many people saying that before, and I actually, whenever I was in any situation, or when I was married and in my relationships, I have also realized that it's okay to not like a person. I can love the hell out of you, but it's getting on my nerves today. I don't like you today. I don't have to like you.
I don't like you, and I know on days you don't like me, and it's okay. Like,
and I think that's a beautiful phase.
Yeah, girl, I had to get okay with that, because before I wasn't. I was all in my emotions and in my little feelings, child. I was like, wait a minute.
Right.
Why you don't like me today?
Good to have that dialogue.
What's wrong with me? What did I do? And he like, it ain't you. Sometimes they just need a little space, too.
Right, exactly. Everybody, we all need our me time, and we forget that sometimes we get so excited and infatuated and, oh, my God, about, you know, the newness, and after a while you realize, you know what, I need some space. Can I think?
Right. Let me just get a moment.
So I totally get that. So with all that being said, and the transformation that you and your husband both have gone through and the growth in your relationship, I know at this point you have some great tips for people to stay sexually grounded and spiritually grounded, and know how much they just share the importance of how much it keeps you closer, bonded and growing with each other, and actually balancing out the energies of each other. Explain to them how it's helping in your current flow with you and your husband.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so, I mean, we are definitely, like, I being with him over this journey has taught me what yin and yang really means. We are polar opposite in so many ways. Like, you know, I was looking to lose weight, and he's been looking to gain weight, and he's currently helped me be down 82 pounds, and I currently help him gain like 10, 15 pounds. So it's like, oh, okay, so we really work this thing together. We really can be as powerful as we believe we can be, you know, right. And it's about communicating. Like, it took me forever to learn how to just let go and trust and communicate with my partner, because I could do it, it's okay. Not that I'm an independent woman. That's not, you know, the direction I'm taking this conversation.
No, I get it.
More so if I could do it, I got it. If, you know, I got it. Like, and I'm such a giver, and I'm such a people pleaser that I want everything to be, like, okay with everybody. And sometimes it's like, you got to let your man be your man, and you can't try to be, like, you know, the woman. We got to slow down sometimes, you know. Sometimes we just got to let them be them, even if we know they're going to bump their head up against the wall. Sometimes it's best to let them bump their own head so they can feel it, and then we tell them, like, okay, now you ready? Okay, so this is the direction that you're supposed to go.
That is so beautiful. So with all that being said, sexuality and spirituality plays a very important part in your life and in your relationship or your divine union. And it's beautiful to have people like you and your husband on the forefront, being pioneers, showing us, especially, I would say, in the Black community, because we have such a hard time when it comes to us being a union, because we've been torn against each other so much in society. So it's good to see you doing the shadow work in your life and in your relationship, and pushing the energy out to change and transform the masses and help them move through energy too, with fitness and sexuality, and staying grounded and true to their spirit of who they really see themselves to be, and actually transform and be that person.
Right.
So I really appreciate you. Any last minute advice you would give to the listeners to guide them on how to stay grounded in their sexuality and spirituality and fitness?
I would absolutely tell them to make sure you take time for you. Have your me time, no matter what it is, no matter if it's sitting down reading a book or going to the movies by yourself or going to get your nails done. Like, take care of you. Like, it's so important. We want to give so much to everybody else, but we don't give anything to ourselves. And I would just say to make sure you do that, and then, get your meditation on. Sit with your energy, and figure out what you want from this thing called life, what you really want, not what you just say you want because it sounds cute. I mean, take some time and write down what you want from this thing called life, so that way life can bring it to you.
That is so beautiful, so deep, and beautifully said. I appreciate you so much, and congratulations again on your weight loss, her transformation. If any of you have seen her, she looks amazing, freaking amazing, and it's beautiful to see you out here just doing your thing. And she's always so bubbly, so happy, just a beautiful, positive energy. I love her so much. And I thank you for all of the beautiful energy you've shared tonight. And I'm just going to give you a chance to share how people can get in contact with you, to work with you, and tap into your services and your products.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you again so much for even having me on your amazing platform. I really appreciate this. I don't take this lightly, so thank you, because what you're doing is you're encouraging and sharing with women all over the world. So I am just very honored to be on your platform. But how you can get awesome. So how you can get in touch with me? The best way I would say right now is Instagram. My Instagram is @IamSheilaMonique. That is how I connect with a lot of people. I answer my DMs, so you can see my transformations, and, all my products and stuff are there as well. And then if you're looking for more on the fitness side, to be able to get into the group fitnesses that, my husband puts together for couples and outside of couples as well, his Instagram is @Maniac Madness _ I'm sorry, Maniac _ Madness _
Okay.
Too many underscores. Maniac _ Madness _ Bam.
Okay, and yours is your Instagram is
I am Sheila Monique.
Okay. Well, that was some great information, beautiful journey. Thank you for sharing your experience, and keep it sexy, keep it sacred, and keep helping the community transform. You're so beautiful, and thank you for your sacred work.
Thank you.
Have a great one. Thank you. Good night.
You as well. Good night.
Greetings, gods and goddesses. This is Nikki Jones, aka Reigning Queen Goddess, stopping by to invite you to check out my 12-week intensive Sacred, Sexy, Sensual Spirit. An intensive that focuses on combining the aspects of sexuality and spirituality as one, learning how to include self-love practices, body positive, mirror work, orgasmic manifestation, cutting cords, sex magic, divine unions, sacred sex, ceremonial worship, and the sacred art of spiritual fluidity, and balancing all these aspects as one. If you are interested, please send me an email to sacredgoddessesoasis@gmail.com, and see you there.